Welcome back to another edition of Polling Court with Coach Jeff Nelson. I'm J.D. Healy, and Coach, we got a lot going on, a lot to talk about. Last week's games, got some games coming up this week, and we're going to talk about some seniors. Special show.
Yeah, fast turnover, lots going on, so guess we better get to it.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about the two games last week. First on Thursday night, UNLV. You head on out to Vegas. Team loses the first two sets. Goes in to the intermission, but comes back and battles back to get it to win the next two and get it to that fifth and decisive set.
Yeah, we started slow. We had some lineup changes and struggled to get it going early on. We had a couple starters out and one of our defensive players that subs in and plays three rotations. Stephanie Chavez was out with the head concussion and just struggled to find a rhythm and good communication early with some changes in the lineup that we had to make. And then in game three, we got back to our starting lineup, and minus Stephanie, of course, but found our rhythm, led all through game three and game four, and did a great job, and led most of the fifth set. And we got to match point in the fifth set at 13-13. UNLV's Bree Hamill ran a slide, and Cassie blocked her straight down for us to go up 14-13. And we had been down 13-12 or 11, so we had momentum going. And unfortunately, for Bree, she ran the slide. She came down on her leg wrong, tore ACL, tore her LCL. Lots of problems with that. The match stopped for a while, and when it resumed, we weren't where we had been, and we'd lost our focus. And UNLV came back and scored three quick points and beat us 16-14 in the fifth. And obviously, we wish Bree the best. She's a great kid and a great performer, and someone that we spent a lot of time preparing for. And she scored a lot of their points in the fifth set, to be quite honest. And but we were disappointed too, because we felt like after starting so slow and not having our lineup in place and then getting it back and playing really well, that we should have finished and gotten it done. But the good part is we did find good volleyball. We finished strong. The last three games played really well, and we rolled that over into Saturday.
Let's talk about some of the standout players first in the UNLV game. Cassie House, 19 kills. That's a really nice night for Cassie.
She had a great weekend. She was our nominee for Player of the Week. She didn't get it, but she put up 30 kills this weekend and hit over 300 for the weekend. She just had a great weekend. She blocked well. She even had a career high in digs on Saturday. So it was a good weekend for her, and I thought she had a really good rhythm going.
Also in that match, Devin Sowers, 14 kills. Julia Warren with 10. Sky Gillette had 12. Hannah Johnson, a Hannah Johnson night with 55 assists. Defensively, Ashley Kelsey and Stephanie Pacheco. So Ashley Kelsey with 16, Pacheco with 7 digs. How many sets did Pacheco wind up playing?
Actually, she played in all 5, 2 as a libero and 3 as a DS. And then Ashley Kelsey, we held out of game 1. She played in a little bit in the DS role in 2, but then liberoed in 3, 4, and 5. And so her numbers were really good. Going back, though, Hannah had a great weekend as well, 55 in that match, and then she came right back in the next one and put up big numbers too.
Was it in that match? It's in the following match, the match against Fresno State, where she passed 1,000 for the season, ended up with 1,023 at the end of that match. But she's also second all time with 4,046.
And in the UNLV match, I believe, or right before that, went over the 4,000 mark. And so she's got lots going on, lots to talk about in her senior stuff. But
here's the tease.
Just lots of kind of nice career-ending things going on.
No doubt about it. So that match against Fresno State, as you say, you took what you started in UNLV and took it Fresno State, a 3-0 sweep. That's exactly the way you want to go on a road trip.
Well, it is, and again, with Fresno State, we talked earlier in the season about this, but We'd had 4 or 5 matches in a row that had gone 5 until this year, and
Right.
we got them 3-0 at home, and we had the same situation there, and we were able to get them 3-0 there, and they were 3 close games. They were really good volleyball games. They play a little slower tempo than we do, and we had to make that adjustment, but we played really well from 20 to 25 in all 3 games, and were able to close out.
Fertile territory of the San Joaquin Valley.
Yeah, it is.
Devin Sowers with 12 kills. Julia Warren had 10. Cassie House has a double-double, 10 kills and 11 digs. Nice performance again by her. Simone Henderson and Sky Gillette, both 10 kills apiece. Ashley Kelsey with 11 digs, and Allie Askew with an ace.
Yeah, I'm actually in a huge dig down the road late in the 3rd game, but she's been a great sub for us this year as a freshman. She's managed herself really well. She plays very confident. You know, that's a really, really difficult role to go in and serve balls, play a little defense, and come right back out, and still have the coaches and the team have really high expectations. Every time you go in, you're cold. And she's come through all year for us. It's really been amazing to see a freshman step up and to see the kind of confidence she has back there. And it was funny, we were playing USC earlier in the year, and it was late in one of the games, and it was really close. I can't remember if it was the 1st or 3rd game, and they called timeout, and she was serving. She walked over to the bench and said, "They're trying to ice me, coach. It won't work." And she's just very confident with it. Her ace to arrow ratio is outstanding. But we always score a point or two when she makes that substitution, and it's been a really good one for us.
Yeah, she's always got a happy countenance, and she doesn't seem to be, as you said, she's unflappable. You know, she just comes in and does what she does.
And even after she hurt her wrist and she's been all taped up, she's still gotten that part done for us.
Yeah, I asked her after one of the games. I said, you know, I can only see it from the side. And then I could see what happens on the other side, is that people seem to have a lot of trouble with your serve. I said, is it just moving from left to right and everything? She said, well, it moves a little left to right, and it drops kind of suddenly too. So
yeah,
she's got a lot on that.
Really has had a good freshman year for us.
Let's talk. You want to talk about incomings, or do you want to talk about our outgoings, our seniors and senior night?
Well, I think we should talk about our incomings first. This week was signing week, as you know, and we signed 2. It's a tremendous class for us. It's 2 just really outstanding athletes, and we're really excited about it.
So we sort of harvest semi-locally here. This is out of Texas. Healy Clark, 5'11", middle blocker. That's kind of close to home, so I could see how you saw her, but talk a little bit about her first.
Well, Healy actually was, as a sophomore into her junior year, I think was overlooked. She's a great athlete. She's a great track athlete, too. And huge jump. I mean, she's touching 10.5 as a high school senior, which is, you know, right now that would be the highest touch on our team. And coming in. And so we're confident about where we can get her, too, that it's going to be probably our highest kid that's ever played here. But she's led her team deep into the Texas State Volleyball Tournament. Texas is a great state for volleyball, one of the best, if not the best. And she's averaging about 25 kills a night out of the middle. But I think was overlooked early. And then last year, as she started her junior season in club, people really found her. Fortunately, we'd been on her for a while already, and had her in for a visit last fall as a junior, and went really well. And she's an outstanding student as well, wants to possibly go into pharmacy. And we were able to get her before, I think, get her committed and get her excited about being a Lobo before things really took off, and she got more confused and stuff. But I was in Vegas watching her at the Vegas Classic, a big club tournament last February, and I had stepped out to get some dinner, came back, and she was playing on a court, and I walked over there, and there were coaches everywhere. And talking about her, all this, and it was kind of exciting because she'd committed to us 3 days earlier. So it was kind of fun to see everyone really ogling over her or whatever.
Forlorn, I think, is the word that you're looking for.
But really a tremendous athlete, really has a huge upside, and I think will make an impact right away here.
All right. Well, the next signing this week, I get it. She's a great player. She's got great size and all that kind of stuff. But you must have really good vision to see all the way across the country to Virginia. Lauren Tweedy, 6'2" outside hitter.
Well, we've been working on Lauren for a long time. Lauren's an outstanding player. She's a 6 rotation player. She's got the ball control skills, got the defensive skills. Is still big and can block, and she's a player that will play all the way around for us, like a Julia, like a Devin, and has been playing at a really high level already. Her high school team is again deep into the state Virginia tournament. She's been an all-state player a couple of times, as Healy has been, but Lauren made all of the high school All-American teams for volleyball this fall. There are 3 or 4 or 5 of them, and she's at worst an honorable mention player, but on most of the lists an All-American, and we're really proud of that. She's a lot of accolades. She's also going to be a really good sand player for us because of her skills and her size, and we're just really excited to have her coming. She's getting such a complete player out of high school. I think she's going to, even though we have Devin, Julia, and Cassie on the pins, I think she's going to challenge them right away with her overall high level of play. I mean, they're all really good offensively, but she's a really complete volleyball player that's going to add a lot to our program.
Looking forward to them both. Clark and Tweedy both coming our way next year. Just real quickly, because you mentioned it, recruiting's changed. Because now there's sand volleyball and regular hardcourt volleyball, and so you got to look at every player a little bit differently now.
Well, we do, and not all players are going to go back and forth. In fact, probably less than half are, but there are going to be some that do, and Lauren's one of them. And and we're moving forward with the sand program too. We're looking forward to now having scholarships just for the sand program as we move forward into the 16-17 school year and beyond. Those things are going to start happening, and that's exciting for us as well. But we're always going to take a player that can do all that for us and more, and we're fortunate to have a number of those right now as well.
All right, let's talk about this week. And before we actually get into the seniors themselves, senior night is Wednesday night, 7 p.m. at Johnson Center. It's the last home game, as is always the case with senior night, and it's going to be against Utah State.
It is, and we're looking forward to a great match. It starts at 7, like you said, at Johnson, and got some special events planned for the seniors and a little reception afterwards, and the things that we traditionally do, and really a last chance to not just watch but appreciate 3 really good athletes. Hannah's not only a great athlete, but has been a good leader, has put up big numbers for us, and has been really a 4-year starter for us. About half-time as a freshman, but then since then full-time, and then obviously Sky, who, Sky and Simone are just great athletes. Speaking about them individually, with Simone, she's a great hitter. Her hitting percentage is high. Right now she's 4th all-time in our program for hitting percentage for her career, and she's also done a great job blocking. She's moving up the charts in blocking as well, and with her, she transferred from Grossmont, so she's only been a 2-year player here. So to have moved into some of these career lists in such a great program is really outstanding for her. Sky, as you know, is a huge jumper and one of our biggest athletes ever, and now
defies gravity.
Defies gravity, yeah, sure. She's 2nd all-time in school history in total blocks. 17th in Mountain West history in blocking, and that's pretty awesome for a 5'10" middle blocker. And She's moving up, career block assist third, all-time block solo sixth, tied for 10th in career hitting. I mean, she's just really moved up the charts, and she's really finished her senior year strong. She's really worked hard this year, and she's particularly late in the year when athletes, maybe isn't going quite as well as you'd hoped or whatever, and they can check out. She's continued to work hard and continued to put up great numbers for us all the way to the end.
She is 22 behind Chelsea. Is it Sondrup? Is that how
Sondrup, yeah.
Sondrup. That would be a lot to accomplish in 3 matches, but if anybody could do it.
Yeah, if we play, let's say we play 10 games and she gets her average, she's going to get about 13 or 14. She needs 22, so she needs one of those special nights, kind of like Chantel did last year at the end. She
Right.
needed that. I don't remember what it was, 20 kills the last night or whatever, and was able to do that. But
Do you think it would help if we had just a whole bunch of people show up for the game on Wednesday night?
of course, that always helps. It always feels good when you work that hard, and she's got a shot, and it's not undoable, that's for sure, but it's going to be close.
Hannah Johnson.
Yeah, Hannah. Right now, she sits at second all-time in career assists. She's about 120 behind Jade Michelson, who graduated in 2010. And she's only the second player in school history and 14th in Mountain West to eclipse the 4,000 career assist mark. She's 31 digs away from going over 1,000 digs as well, which for a setter is outstanding. Setters aren't supposed to dig balls. They're supposed to take the second ball. And
Right.
she's played some great defense for us. She's been a 2-time All-Mountain West player. She was recently named to the Casita All-District academic team. She's done a lot of things to represent the program well. She coaches in the community and has been involved in so many charity events and projects that we do, and always takes the lead in them. And so there's so many things, and has been a captain. And, for her, she's in a tight race for some of these records and awards and stuff. But I just think that she's had a great senior year, and regardless of what happens, she's really given us everything she has this year.
Only 3 games left in the regular season. One of them is the senior night tomorrow night here at home. Then you go on the road. You got Boise State on Saturday at 2 p.m. So it's an early game, and then Air Force next Tuesday at 6 p.m.
Correct.
Which closes out the regular season. It's hard to believe that we're down to the last 3 games of the regular season.
It is, and not an overly fun road trip, but with Utah State, I think we haven't seen Utah State or Boise State yet this year, because with our 18-game schedule, there's 2 teams you only play once every year, and so we're at that point, and so we're spending a little more time than we usually do on our game film and stuff this week, because they're new teams for us.
Right.
Utah State is really led by Rachel Gale on the outside, and they've been pretty up and down this year. Their record's not good, but they just got a win again last week, and so they're going to be a threat. They're well coached by Grayson, and we're not going to take anything lightly. We're going to go out, prepare as always, and get out there and try and have a great senior night. Moving on to Boise. Boise's really an offensive-minded team. They play good floor defense. They're an average blocking team, but they really play well together. They've had a great year. They're in second place, and they've won a whole bunch of 5-game matches. They've just, like we've lost them, they've won them. They've really had their rhythm and confidence in that. And that 5th game, is so. Either way, you lose a couple and your confidence gets rattled. You win a couple and you're flying high, and they've won a whole bunch of those 5th games close, and really managed to eke out the wins to get into second place and maybe even have an outside shot at postseason. But we're going to prepare for them. They run the slide really well. Maddie O'Donnell and I'm trying to think of their other middle. I think is in first or second in the conference in hitting percentage. But I had both of them with me in Europe this summer too, so we know them well, and they're great players and great kids. And their setter Sarah Ball leads the conference in assists, and they've got a lot of things working right now, and they've been really good in the tight games, and they've played a lot of them. And so we got to go up there and really challenge them and get after them. The good thing is we've had good luck with Boise State, and there are teams that you sometimes don't match up well with. There are sometimes teams that you do. We've had a good rivalry with them and had a lot of good luck, and we always look forward to that match. And then finally, at Air Force Tuesday night, it's their senior night. They have a whole bunch of seniors, so we're looking forward to a great match, and we know they're really going to come at us. They're led by senior outside pin hitters and a really good middle. That's a senior, and so the last two matches on the road are going to be tough. We know they're coming at us for different reasons, and there's always a lot of pride involved in those nights as well. So we got to be ready to do our best. The good thing is, I think. Again, this week we played really good ball for the most part. Mm-hmm. So I think we'll be ready, and I definitely think we're still battling and still fighting. We want to finish in the top 4 in the conference. We're in a good place to do that, and we need to just finish strong.
You'll be up in Colorado next Tuesday, so we won't have a show next Tuesday. Right. We'll finish up with regular season broadcasts. I want to remind you, Wednesday you come on in here, and we want you at Johnson Center for the Utah State game. It is senior night, as we've been talking about here tonight. Bring your Sharpies, get your autographs at the end of the game from all the players, not just the seniors, from all the players. Then Saturday, go to golobos.com, look for the link for the game against Boise State at 2 p.m. and also Air Force on Tuesday at 6 p.m. golobos.com. Then it'll be Thanksgiving dinner.
It will be. I have a house full.
Yeah, and you and I will come back the following week. We'll do a season wrap up. We'll talk about everything that's gone on this season and give a little forecast for what's coming up next season.
Well, yeah, definitely next season, and maybe even talk a little bit about the spring sand season and what's happening there.
Absolutely. That's right. The warm weather is right around the corner. Doesn't feel like it today. I know it's chilly out there, but folks, expect to see you tomorrow night, Johnson Center, 7 p.m. Be there. If you wear red, I'll mention you on the air. Well, I'm just going to mention that everybody's wearing red because they're Lobo supporters. But come on out and join us. It's going to be a great match. Lobos at home for the last time of the season. Until next time, folks, that's it for this edition of Holding Court with Coach Jeff Nelson.